Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today we're going to see an Israeli spokesperson by the name of David Mencer, who gets caught lying through his backside by Yama Wolasmal, who is an Afghan-born Norwegian news anchor. Yama questions David relentlessly and makes him look like a complete buffoon. Before we begin, thank you, Yama, for exposing the lies of these Zionists. Let's take a look.
1 week into the war, your army spokesperson Daniel Hagari showed the world a virtual 3D model of an alleged Hamas command and control center which stretched several stories beneath the largest medical facility in Gaza, the Shifa hospital, which you know very well of. Why haven't you shown any proof of such a command center?
Straight off the bat, very good question.
Again, Yama, this line of questioning really shocks us here in Israel because we've shown the world media, many journalists have been taken to those tunnels. We've seen those bulletproof doors. We've seen the cells, terror dungeon.
Specifically with Shifa Hospital, what you've shown the world are abandoned tunnels and shafts and weapons your forces claim were found inside the hospital. That does not prove that Hamas had a 3-story underground command and control center under the Shifa, a claim Israel has used to justify the attacks on hospitals all over the Gaza Strip.
I'm quite disappointed at this line of questioning, and it's not just from you, because we face this unreasonable burden of proof of the horrors of Hamas strategies. We've shown you tunnels.
Hamas has never denied they had tunnels under Gaza. That's an open secret. But you're claiming that they had a command center under the biggest hospital in Gaza. You use that as an argument to lay that hospital in ruins, and that's why it's a question the international press has to ask you. Where is this command center under the Shifa hospital?
Well done, Yama.
Asking questions is, of course, the right thing to do for any journalist, but we have produced evidence of terror tunnels underneath the hospital. I apologize, Yama, if it's not enough for you. I apologize for the fact that we found RPGs in an intensive care unit. I apologize for the fact that we were fired on from the maternity ward. And I can tell you one thing, it wasn't the midwives that were firing at us. The evidence is clearly there. Journalists have been taken there. There is a terror tunnel network, twice the size of the London Underground.
You've said it time and again, you find the line of questioning regarding the attacks on the hospitals and questioning these tunnels offensive.
I don't find it offensive, I find it ridiculous to be ridiculous. You know, for an intelligent person like you, Yama, it's ridiculous. What else do you need to see? You've seen videos.
Listen,
Hamas admit it, we're fired from there, the terrorists are there, we killed 200 there, the doctors, we move the doctors and the patients out of the way. You know, I don't know, it's a ridiculous line of questioning. I'm not shocked by it, I find it ridiculous.
But why don't you open Gaza for international press who can freely move around and check these tunnels for themselves? Because what you've done until now in this war, you've sealed the borders. No journalists, independent journalists, are allowed in to Gaza by your forces and by Egypt. The journalists you're talking about who are allowed in are handpicked by the IDF. They go on so-called embeds, where the IDF forces decide where they go, where they move, where they film, and who they talk to. That's hardly the standard of free press.
So Yama, we have taken in many journalists, critical journalists as well. We have taken in many journalists on the point.
Guided tours, right. Mr. Mencer, that's different. That's not how free press should operate. We should have the ability, the possibility to move around freely, to check and verify things for ourselves. That's our job, especially in a war. So you're not allowing us to do our job.
Yama, you've put this accusation to me. Let me give you Israeli government response.
It's not an accusation, it's a fact. You do not allow independent journalists access to the Gaza Strip.
You've put these points to me. Allow me to reply. Number one, this is a war zone, an active war zone, not a normal war zone, not like in other countries in the past. This is perhaps an unprecedented war zone in human history.
Where so is Ukraine and Russia,
where they
journalists are allowed all the way
Hamas,
to the front
allow
line.
me to reply. You've asked me a question. Please do me the courtesy of allowing me to reply. So it's an active war zone. We have hostages in that in Gaza.
Several
We know
thousand.
there are still 133 of our people. Unfortunately, 36 of them have been killed. We know that our hostages are there as well. We fear for their presence as well, and we know that our armed forces would be jeopardized. They would be jeopardized, and we will always put the lives of our armed forces ahead of any sort of journalists wanting to go in.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the Israeli spokesman David Mencer for you. Could he even answer one question? Matter of fact, did he even know what he was saying? This is the difference between those who speak and stand for the truth and those who spread corruption in the land. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.